All right, what's up, guys? In this video, I wanted to cover SQL, which is really table stakes for any kind of data analyst role, including marketing analytics or sales strategy. But before getting into it, I want to give you guys a quick disclaimer on how I plan on structuring these technical videos. So what I'll focus on these videos is on how or actual execution on how to formulate these commands or formulas. I think there's already a ton of great resources and documentation online that covers that. And I might actually link some of those resources in the description below. But instead, what I'm going to share with you guys is based on my experience, what I think is the most important for you to actually know what concepts, to know what to do with these tools. And also, maybe what you don't have to know specifically for a marketing analytics or sales strategy type role. So hopefully cutting through some of this noise and only giving you guys the most important skills for marketing analytics or sales strategy role will give you guys kind of an edge and hopefully let you guys make the most of your time and be successful. Okay, so enough of that disclaimer. Hopefully that makes sense. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty and back to SQL. So for this topic, I'm going to lean towards what I feel like is the most important SQL interviews. SQL interviews is where your SQL skills will be truly tested based on my experience from what I practiced and studied for SQL interviews compared with what I actually did on the job. It was honestly night and day. So to make this most valuable for you guys, I'm going to focus on SQL interviews for this video. Okay, I've used many SQL resources in the past when trying to learn SQL, including online sites, YouTube tutorials, books, even attended SQL classes, really expanded the whole gambit. And what I created for you is a custom learning plan with what I think is the best of the best resources for learning SQL quickly and will cost you less than $25. So I summarized all my recommendations in a learning roadmap slide, which I put a link in the description if you want to check that out. But I will kind of walk through what my recommendations are for the rest of the video. So my first recommendation is a book called SQL in 10 Minutes by Ben Forta. You can find it on Amazon. Link is in the description. It will cost you $24, but I think it packs a ton of value and is absolutely worth the price. You can carry it around with you, read it on your commute. It's a super quick read and has a lot of great content and provides you with an excellent SQL foundation. It was the first SQL book that I owned and really does a fantastic job covering all your SQL basics. It'll provide you with a background in databases, why the SQL language is so popular today, and all the basic SQL commands and ideas. Some things you're going to want to take away from this book are select statements, where clauses, order by statements, aggregate functions, grouping data, working with subqueries, joining data, very important. I recommend reading the book from chapter 1 through chapter 14. After chapter 14, it kind of goes into more data engineering stuff. They don't have to worry about as much. But yes, it's a very great book. My plan is not to walk through the actual SQL with you guys, because I think there's already a lot of great resources online like this book. So I didn't want to waste your time, but it is something you guys be interested in. Just please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do so. Now there is one topic that isn't covered in this book that you guys are going to want to know, and that is window functions. For me, this topic came up in every single SQL interview that I did. So it is really important. You guys are going to want to learn it. Specifically, I think it's good to understand rank functions, dense rank, row number, and then how to use partition by and order by properly. No worries if you guys have no idea what that means right now. I dropped an excellent link in the description that does a really nice job summarizing what these are. There's also a lot of good YouTube tutorials online that kind of explain it. I will say the Windows function topic is a little bit confusing, so I recommend devoting at least a few hours to kind of give yourself the chance to really go over it, digest it, and understand the topic. Again, happy to do a video on this. If this is something you guys find helpful, just let me know in the comments. Okay, great. So we've learned the basics. We read SQL in 10 minutes. You learned window functions. Now it's time to practice. So my go-to site, and I will say I visited many sites to find a good site to practice on. And the best site that I found was a site called stratuscratch.com. Link is in the description. Personally, I love this site. It gives excellent instructional problems. part of learning SQL specifically for interviews is just practicing the problems, going them over and over again, just so you don't get tripped up on the day of the interview. Obviously, you don't want to see a question for the first time on the day of an interview. That's no fun. So let me show you what this site looks like. I'm going to show the screen here. Sorry, a second. Okay, so you just click coding question. Okay. And then there's a lot of filters on top here. So you can filter for just unsolved questions. If you want to just jump into questions you haven't solved yet. Company, this is really cool. So companies actually submit questions to the site. So if you're interviewing for Amazon, let's say you can actually filter for Amazon and see all the questions Amazon submitted. That might give you a good sense of what kind of questions they're going to ask. Topics, I use this one a lot. So if there's a particular topic you feel kind of weak on, you can filter for just that type, kind of drill yourself on those type of questions, just kind of build up that muscle. Difficulty, easy, medium, hard. And then this is my favorite filter. You can actually filter on top here just to the free questions. So this will just show you all the questions you get for free just by going to the site. And you actually get a lot of them, which is great. I can just click on one just to show you guys what it looks like. It's by DoorDash workers with the highest salary. So how it works is the question is here. Find the titles of workers that earn the highest salary. Output the highest paid title in multiple titles that share the highest salary. And they give you kind of approaches, expected output. Let's look at click on here. So in the subquery, prepare the list of work titles with high salary. That kind of just restates the question. Expected output. This is what the table should look like. Should be called best paid title and should include assistant manager and manager. And then just go down a little bit further, it shows you kind of how the tables are structured and what columns are included for each table. And then what I really like, I found valuable here, is you can actually put in code and you can run it and you can see what the output is. So I really love this because a lot of the times I'm just kind of experimenting with queries, stuff like that, and I'm just curious what the output will be. So this is an excellent tool just to use that. And you can also check your solution. Another really helpful kind of tool I found here is solution discussion. So this will give you what the right answer is from Strata Scratch, but it'll also give you other answers that users submitted that are valid as well. So a lot of the times when solving these problems, there's more than one answer. So just seeing other people's thought process and maybe other ways to do it, it might come more intuitively to you. Found that very valuable. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. So that is Strata Scratch. Love that tool. I definitely recommend going through all the easy and medium problems first. Before even thinking about the paid problems, you get a lot of free problems, so definitely do that first. I ended up signing up for the paid version after I went through all the easy and medium questions, just because I love the platform so much. And I think it's about $32 a month. I will have to say it was nice to have access to more problems, but I honestly don't think it's necessary. I think you can get away with just doing the free problems. Okay, so my last resource I want to share with you guys is LeetCode. I know this is very popular in programming interviews specifically. It does have a lot of great SQL practice problems. You can get a subscription for the site, which is about $30 a month. Link is in the description. I will say LeetCode does tend to be on the more advanced side. I think it was actually probably more advanced than what I thought was necessary for like the roles I was interviewing for marketing analytics and sales strategy. It's probably more for like if you're going to be like a pure SQL developer. That being said, it did help hone my skills. So I think it's a nice like kind of cherry on top with LeetCode. Okay, the last thing I want to call out is SQL classes. I've personally taken 2 SQL classes. One was at UC Berkeley. Another one was through a career type program. And I did not get a lot of value out of these classes. Again, This is just my experience. I think SQL is intuitive enough that the books and online resources are sufficient, and they kind of help you can kind of carve your own learning path this way. I think that's the best way to learn. At least it worked for me. That's my recommendation. So to quickly recap, you start with reading SQL in 10 Minutes by Ben Forta. Excellent book to understand the SQL basics. Then study window functions. Then go to Scratch, put your skills to the test, and practice. And doing all that should be $24. All you're paying for is the book, SQL in 10 minutes. Okay, that's it. That's all. That's all from me. Thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe. I'll be posting more videos soon. Thank you.